Hello, everybody. My name's Jacob.
I'm Cody.
I'm Will.
I'm Ellis.
And we're starting a new podcast today for the Little Hawk. And basically, we're just going to talk about interesting news stories we found over the last week.
My news story is so in Texas, lawmakers are trying to get a Pop Tart gun bill passed, which would protect kids up to 5th grade who want to chew their food at school lunchtime into a gun. And it would also protect kids who want to like have their finger be a gun and pretend that at recess and stuff. Because a lot of time recently, especially in Texas, there was a kid, I think it was a 2nd grader, who he chewed his Pop-Tart into a gun, and he got suspended for 2 weeks. Wait, no, sorry.
You get an easier sentence for hitting someone.
And no, he got suspended for 2 days, and then they had this whole thing where they're like, it's going on your permanent record.
Holy shit.
Which, that to me is the worst thing. It's like,
Although
what?
They always say that, and
I know, it's
in
never...
elementary
I
school.
wonder
it's
how
always a lie.
confused a college would be when they're like, used a Pop-Tart gun? We don't understand.
Yeah.
This guy must be a genius. He can make guns out of Pop-Tarts.
Should we worry about him performing a school shooting with, like, a toaster strudel?
Just be like, oh, man, he's going to use other pastries. We just got to ban him from the bakery.
Yeah, so anyway, some people are doing some good, protecting kids who want to do this.
It's ridiculous that they are, like, getting kids in trouble for that, you know? Like,
This is
back
the
in
stupidest
back
law.
in our day, when we were in elementary school, so, like, not too long ago, like, we used to run around on the playgrounds with toy guns, like, handguns, you know?
Yeah.
There used to be airsoft fights at night at my elementary school.
Airsoft fights?
Yeah, and we would
Jesus.
The
we
teachers
would
would
come
always win.
every once in a while, and we'd see just little pellets. Also, one time our slide got blew up at elementary school.
What school did you go to?
Lemmy.
Oh, yeah, someone
We were
melted
the-
the slide at Lucas. That was pretty cool.
We were the thug school. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, no, I remember last year when I was still in Ambassadors, we'd go over to Hoover for the Hoover Buddies, and you'd have recess and do crafts with these kids, and I remember we'd run around, and I just noticed a difference in the type of things that kids did. There were still the same personalities of kids, but we'd be playing Star Wars, and some kid would come up to another kid and be like, I stabbed you, and 3 other kids would be like, no weapons, we only do good things.
That's so
we
stupid.
use lightsaber to protect good people.
These kids are just a bunch of nerds.
And I don't know. Yeah, I mean, maybe
It's-
if you actually get kids to think like that, that's...
Man, it's really good you
it's
didn't go to
ridiculous.
Grantwood.
It's
Yeah.
it's stupid the way we are so overly protective of everyone over violence, and we're so reactionary. We're like, one school shooting, oh my god, no guns anywhere. And
Well, actually, it's legal in Texas if you take a gun to school without intent to harm, you can, go to school and sell a gun.
they can't prove that. They can't prove
Can you
that
have
no intent to harm.
an open carry,
But-
just in math
No,
class?
In the rest of the place, this is just a kid making a Pop-Tart, and he's in 2nd grade.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd all agree that this law is pretty dumb, but
it
I don't know,
doesn't need to be
if you
here.
did, I mean, maybe not stuff that's as crazy as this, but if you see a shift in just kids' overall attitude to violence, maybe that means that once they're 20, once
I mean,
they're older,
but it's
it
actually
won't be as violent in
harmful.
the country.
To a level, this attitude towards violence, because
Why?
there have been studies shown that boys, a lot of times in elementary schools, the teachers essentially favor very peaceful behavior. They favor the girl approach to things, right, compared to the boy approach.
Oh,
and
yeah,
the boy
I've
approach
heard
is much
this.
more rough, and they like to tackle each other and wrestle and play football during class. And people are like, oh, that's violent, you can't do that. But that's actually harmful to a boy, because
Yeah.
that's just the way guys grow up. Without that, they don't.
We've been fighting since cavemen days, and
I
it's
guess that's true.
It's just It's just a natural human thing. When I tackle somebody during recess, I don't want to like break their neck. I'm playing a game, and also on games too. Like people are complaining about video games and movies, so much so that movies have inaccurately represented violence. Because now for a PG-13 rating, you can't show blood.
You can't
right?
show.
You can't show a lot. You can't say fuck more than once. So you have to find that one magical, not magical, but that one hidden,
that one magical moment.
That one hidden F-bomb in the movie. It's kind of fun to look for, but it's still stupid.
Yep.
But there's like an example for in World War Z, that the Brad Pitt zombie movie.
Yeah.
There's a scene in the unrated version where a woman gets like bit on the hand, and he has to chop off her hand, and blood spewing out. He's like, oh my god, and it's like, that makes sense. That's what happens when you chop off someone's hand. Blood goes everywhere. But in the PG-13 theatrical version, just chops it off and nothing happens. It's just like
It's healed,
just
so
black.
back up.
Yeah, it's like someone already cauterized it.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not what happens. You should at least have people know what happens when they chop off somebody's hand.
Well, yeah, everything should be like Game of Thrones.
Yeah, well, that's weird. How can they, like, I guess, be so protective of, like, violence in movies, and then everybody's just saying, like, all the stuff on TV is just incredibly crazy violent.
TV shows are more violent than any movie.
I mean, like,
well,
what
that's
time
because
is...
HBO privately owns it, and they don't care about the violence.
What time is Game of Thrones on?
8.
on
like-
Sundays.
So kids still watch?
Little
It's-
kids
kids
on
they
Sundays
watch
in
that.
bed,
You would.
probably.
Most parents...
Yeah,
the
most
thing
parents
is-
are going to
I
watch
guess
it with
so.
their kid.
Well, most parents are pretty smart enough to know that they can't let their kids watch Game of Thrones or Walking Dead. Maybe Walking
Yeah, I
Dead
guess-
is pretty okay. Because, like, Game of Thrones, it's pretty bad. Like, I'm pretty sure they have a boob quota for that show. Like, you have to have a certain amount of boobs per episode, or else...
12.
12, yeah. Or else its ratings go down, of course.
Don't forget the severed head count.
Yeah. And, you see people disemboweled and chopped in half, and you see little kids thrown off towers, and you see incest, and it's all... It's not... That I can accept of kids not seeing that, because it could be a bit traumatizing.
But I liked that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, so the weird thing about, I guess, getting back to the like Pop Tart gun thing is, in a sense, when they get a kid in trouble for making a Pop Tart gun, they're basically saying, like, we're scared you will shoot up a school at some point in your life. So we have to stop you early.
That could mess a kid up. He could be like, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
At
Well,
first,
yeah,
I just wanted to pretend with a Pop-Tart. Now I'm going to bring a real, like, M4.
Well, that's how little kids, especially boys, young boys are. Like,
You give him an idea.
the craziest kids I've ever known have terrible parents that are really controlling, and then as soon as they get out of that house, they're...
Yeah, I feel like controlling parents usually makes it worse.
Yeah,
I mean,
to be honest.
uh,
No, but it's like, if I were to make a Pop Tart gun and they're like, no, man, you might shoot up a school, like, that'd just be so...
I remember when you could bring Nerf guns to class.
You can bring...
You can't anymore because it's a gun, technically. And maybe, just maybe, someone's allergic to Nerf guns and you can shoot them and kill them. Just
Mr.
maybe.
Hellwig brought a trench knife last trimester
Yeah.
to show his whole class.
But he has to get, like, special permission. He has to go through a bunch of stuff with Mr. Bacon. Because some kid is going to go home and be like, Mr. Hellwig did something real cool and showed us a trench knife or a cavalry saber. And then the mom or dad or whatever is going to be like, what?
Yeah.
My kid saw a weapon? Oh my god! And then Mr. Hellwig gets fired because they have to give in to the teacher or the parents or whatever.
I mean, my little brother brought a big, like, a cap gun. It was obviously not a real gun to school for a demonstration, like a Civil War thing. They had to do a presentation. And he was walking home and he was carrying it, and some kid that lives down the street saw it and freaked out, ran home, and then all of a sudden we got the cops coming. Like, your kid has a rifle?
Yeah. It's, I don't know, it's silly. I saw a story that's actually kind of funny. Like, a Halloween a couple years ago, a guy got a really cool Boba Fett costume. You know, it was all intricate, and he had a blast rifle, and he was walking around, and like around a local McDonald's, and apparently a woman saw him, and thought
And
he
was like, oh my god, it's Boba Fett.
No, she didn't. She apparently just didn't know who Boba Fett was, because she's some kind of nerd, but she thought he was like
Big
a tactical commando going around killing people, and she called the cops, and the cops came over and like threw him on the ground, breaking his gun in half, and
Wait, and
handcuffed
this
him.
was on Halloween?
This was on Halloween.
Okay. If it was any other day, that'd be cool. But if it's on Halloween, then that's not.
I met a guy that got arrested by university cops on Halloween. Him and his girlfriend were wearing police officer outfits, and they arrested him for impersonating an officer. And in he showed us his mugshot, and there's a little thing on the corner. It says, "Disclaimer: I am not a cop." Like
really funny.
right on his chest.
Yeah, no, it's silly.
Yeah.
It's just too controlling, and
like zero tolerance policies.
yeah, that's also really dumb. Like, if I get punched, I get punished.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like if I punch you,
Wait,
yeah,
what?
yeah.
You
There are
haven't
rules
heard about zero
that if
tolerance?
I punch you, we both get in trouble for being in a fight.
Right. So if Will and I were on the playground and doing whatever, and I got mad at him and just went pow.
Yeah. Then we would be
And-
punished
and he
like
didn't-
almost equally. I think.
He didn't do anything, and he just runs to the principal and starts saying, "Ellis punched me in the face." Okay, both of you get detention.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Ellis could be like stomping the crap out of Will, and then they'll be like, "Nope, Will, I'm sorry, you're suspended for the rest of the year."
Yeah, I'm picturing like Kyle like knife handing someone in the throat, and then like talking to him in the office while he has like the big cone around his neck.
Yeah,
Detention for you, sir.
but yeah, like that.
I think
It,
it's a worse environment.
That's crazy.
it's things like that, like where people are to a point now where they follow the rules so much that there's like common sense on like some of those basic things goes out the window.
True.
Yeah.
Well, then, like, if you have a zero tolerance policy, I thought the whole point of punishing a kid in school was so that they learned a lesson and didn't do it again. If you have a zero tolerance policy,
Yeah,
then it's just like, you hit a kid once, you're out.
Yeah. That's just messing
Not
the kid
really
up.
a chance to correct that.
Yeah.
That's like one more point on that. That's like the thing where it's like, if somebody punches you, you're like, well, already getting in trouble now, so I might as well just keep going. And then they just start beating each other up. Like, I feel like that could almost escalate it more than.
True.
Mhm.
Well, I'm already in the fight, might as well take out this teacher trying to break it up.
Yeah.
Do you know that teachers at City High and in the district are allowed one reflex punch?
Really?
Are they?
Yeah, if a kid hits a teacher, I was told this by Miss Scott. She spent like a whole day on this back in chemistry. If a kid punches a teacher, the teacher is allowed one like full on just like punch.
Just dead.
Better not
kid.
fight around Burkle's room.
Yeah.